Let's go for this. Immortal Technique, Conspiracy Worldwide Radio.
Hello.
Peace, Immortal Technique. Welcome back to Conspiracy Worldwide Radio.
What's up, man? What's going on?
Yeah, everything's good tonight, man. We just finished up talking to you, man, LOWKEY. Just been talking about, of course, the situation out here in the UK over the summer, you know, and really just talking about a lot of things going down. And I know you're busy tonight. I know you're on the move. You're about to set off on this this tour to touch the hearts of millions of people. And, of course, yesterday, an absolute success, man, out there on Mediafire, which is a rarity now for a brand new album from an artist, the Martyr. It hit the world yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it actually shut down Viper Records. It shut down Mediafire. We had literally like 20,000 downloads within a span of less than an hour. The response was amazing. You know, we're a day in, and we're already at like 200,000 downloads with the collective of all the people that were passing them out. So it looks like it's just going to grow and grow and grow. And that's what it should have done, because I really wanted to show people that in this climate where we're talking and raging against the forces that control everything, every aspect of our society, there needs to be something that we can give to people. You know, something besides just saying, "Oh, just, you know, here's my lyrics. I'm the nicest kid in the world." You know, you got to say something real in the music as well.
Exactly. And that's just what we were saying with LOWKEY. He was saying about how he's trying to show other artists that, you know, we have to take control and we have to put our music out. When I say we, I mean artists. And this is what you did. It really was something that I saw you commenting, saying that a lot of people expected you to put this out for sale. Obviously, you're a businessman, you have a record label, but your reasons you just alluded to there, your reasons were to say no. Here you are, everybody. Here's my new album. Here's a new EP. These are unreleased tracks. These are things that I love. Some of these tracks were going to make it to Middle Passage, but didn't. Here it is. It's not stealing because it's free. Everybody get this now. And that was the kind of thing you were trying to do with this project. And from what you just said...
Right, not just that, but also tell them, hey, listen, the only price that you have for this is to take it and burn it for everyone you know. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the way that, you know, this is going to spread, and it already has been spreading. Now, a passive fan or somebody might look at this title, I think, and think, oh, yeah, Immortal Technique, oh, yeah, that's a suicide bomber reference there. But, of course, it isn't, is it?
No, the Martyr is more a reference to what has to die within an individual for someone to be reborn. You know, the internal struggle of someone that is fighting with the aspects of themselves, the ego, the vanity, selfishness, you know, and sometimes those things that aren't selfish but that you want in life. Like revolutionaries don't really tend to live very long. They tend to not be the best fathers sometimes because they're so concerned with the world's problems that those that are right under their nose, like the ones that their families face, sometimes go neglected. You know, they are pulled in so many different directions by people who want their help for something that it almost seems impossible for them to be able to refocus and to get in line with some of the dire necessity that is in their immediate sphere.
And
so, I mean, the Martyr is a metaphor for that. And also, it's a very personal record, you know what I mean? It talks about my self-sacrifice, all the things that I've had to do from the very, very beginning all the way up until the end.
Exactly, man. I mean, exactly. I mean, coming from the street right full circle now to be a voice that everybody is of course listening to. And you say this does tell a story, which it does. All the way through the 16 tracks, they really do tell a story. But when it comes down to it, where are you now in that story? Where is Immortal Technique in 2011?
I mean, I'm not going to give away the ending, but I'm alive. I'm here, and the struggle continues on, and it's on to the next chapter, the Middle Passage, which we're about, me and Southpaw are about maybe 7 songs deep into. So we're about maybe halfway done, and we just have a few really, really incredible guest spots that we're right now finishing up consolidating, and then hopefully, you know, be able to be on point for a release early next year.
All right, excellent. Now, one of the things I was going to talk to you about is, of course, the family aspect. You brought friends with the Martyr onto the record. You've brought, colleagues. You brought some amazing variety of names, but you've also brought family. I believe, is it your nephew appears upon this joint?
My best friend's son, yeah. My little dude, Gomez. He was on there. He was playing. He was playing the role of someone. Ready? You ready? All right, cool. He was just playing a role. Like, we had him in the lab one day. He's a star, in his own right. He's a great little actor, and he's doing a radio show. Doing as much as he possibly can. But again, I'm not like one of those showbiz parents. Like, I'm not trying to push him to do acting or anything like that. I let him, be a little kid and have fun. We were just having a good time in the studio one day, and I said, "Man, why don't you come by and check it out?" And he liked it. Liked the sound of his own voice and screaming and yelling and singing on the microphone. So we just kind of had the song Goonies ready, and I had this idea, like, man, wouldn't it be funny if the story about Goonies was the fact that we had already been through all this, and you're trying to explain your past life to a child that doesn't really understand it. Even in the very beginning, they're like, I heard that you were in a gang. And I'm like, no, we just used to borrow things and write on stuff and play karate. I mean, that's the kind of the way a young, innocent mind would see all the ruckus and violence, but at the same time, play karate. What does that mean? Obviously, you fight in the street. You're borrowing things that you used to steal. And, you don't want to expose children to that negative aspect of it, but when they grow up, you don't want to shelter them from it. You want to make it make sense to them and say, hey, listen, I was very misguided as a young man. I didn't always do the right things, and I think that I really paid a price for it in my life. And even though I set an example of somebody that went through that and managed to get through it and come out on the other side unscathed, I think it's very important to not say, okay, well, that's the path for success, because there are, for every one of me, there's a million people that are still in prison right now. You know what I mean? There's a million people that, didn't come out of, didn't never finish college, never got a good job, who are stuck somewhere in some dead-end, work environment, who have a dream, who have some artistic expression, whether that's through lyricism or poetry or music or singing or artistry or drawing or painting, or through some other thing that they really wanted to do, through journalism, or they always wanted to be, I don't know, an astronaut, but they can't because they're living in the economic reality of what their situation determines. They have a sick relative, they have children to support. These things sometimes almost embitter a person, but they shouldn't turn against what, they have around them. They should more see it as a blessing that they have some of these things. Because every day somebody wakes up with a million worse problems than them.
Absolutely. Now, switching gears, I think that right now, you have, as of right now, at this point in time, arguably one of the most anticipated albums, not just in independent hip-hop, but of course in hip-hop, period. And of course, I'm talking about your forthcoming album. When people talk about your album and they compare it to, if you like, the underground Detox, does that put pressure on your situation with this album?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Not at all?
Listen, not for one bit. I know this thing is actually going to come out. I know that's exactly what it's shaping up to look like. After sitting in the studio with DJ Premier, with Ali Shaheed Muhammad, Spam Jones, with Southpaw, Needles, and tons of other producers that haven't been music, I kind of have this roundabout idea of what the Middle Passage is going to look like. And realistically speaking, when you listen to the Martyr, you're going to understand that there's a story that has to continue. It can't just end there. So, I mean, it's definitely something that's going to happen. When people say, "Oh, I don't think that he could ever do better than this or that," okay. Well, let me surprise you. Here's the Martyr. Now tell me I've lost it. Tell me my flow's gotten worse. The ignorant things that people say, I'm like, okay, cool. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll do the double top flow just for y'all. I've mastered that just to let you know how stupid you can feel in a heartbeat for thinking that I'm just going to sit here and allow other people to bastardize the culture and get away with that, I'm taking the concepts to another level. I can flip any sample. I can switch it up from one thing to another. We have records about concepts, whether it's, dealing with females and their self-expression and their unfortunate twisted view of self on something like natural beauty, talking about the past, not in a historical sense, but also something very personal to me in the Goonies, and then a real historical recap, like Sign of the Times, which speaks about people struggling against the rise of fascism and forgetting how much it's permeated our society, that even some of the most liberal forces in the world bear similar trademarks to that which they criticize the most when they don't look at the legacy of what they've created in the world. I mean, I tell people on one of the joints, how do you think you got this country? How do you think Australia, a land of Aboriginal people, it wasn't gently colonized by British people. It was just violently overthrown. People said, one of the funny criticisms I got immediately was, this is a crazy record on Black Vikings. You're talking about killing and raping and murder. And I said, okay, what do you think happens in every conquest? Whether it's the conquest of the Americas, the conquest of South America, the colonization of Africa by England and other European nations, these were done politely. Don't you think that it was done with the utmost terror? And people talk about gratuitous violence in movies, like in 300 or in this new thing, Immortals, that I just had to review for MTV. But I'm saying that violence is nothing compared to the reality of watching children in Gaza have white phosphorus dumped on them and their skin burning off, or seeing children in Iraq be accidentally bombed by somebody else. I mean, that is, in a sense, just as horrific as anything else. And conquest it's not something that you can really blanket and repackage in some way, shape, or form. It always is going to be what it is. You can hide it from the people. You can hide the dead bodies of soldiers from the people, but the truth is eventually going to come out, and history will judge you.
Exactly. And of course, we can't speak about the past. We can't look at this in a kind of reflective, post-hoc kind of way, because it's going on now. It's been going on for years. We're still, and I say we, I mean America, and I'm talking the UK, we're still slowly invading every country we want to invade. We're doing it very subtly. We're still on the crusades.
Right, only now it's an economic crusade. They want the money.
Yeah, well, they want the resources. That's what we're doing. It's like, even with Iraq, I mean, people talk about World War III, and we say, World War III, I wonder when that'll happen. In my view, it's been going on. It's been going on now for years. It's such a slow war, so slow and carefully timed. It's unbelievable. Listen, man, I know you're in a rush, so talking a bit more then about things. The documentary, when people have been asking in the UK, when will we see the new film stroke documentary, The Revolution of Mortal Technique?
It'll probably be out early next year.
Early next year.
Right. Nice. Around
the same time as the Middle Passage. And the documentary will be a DVD that also has, lots and tons of extras.
Nice.
So
nice.
It's an incredibly powerful thing. We won a Spotlight Award at the Harlem Film Festival, and now, it looks like we're moving on to solidifying the type of distribution that we really want for this project.
Excellent. We look forward to that, man. Look forward to that. So early next year, along with the Middle Passage.
Yeah.
That should be a great
one. Now, on off the internet, but when you do, give it to someone you love. Give it to someone who says, hey, I remember that guy, Mortal Technique, from 2 years ago, who put out The Third World and came out here in London and sold it out and went crazy. Man, what's he doing right now? I'll say, he's doing this, you stupid bastard.
Yeah.
That's what you need to tell us.
Got a couple of questions.
I definitely do look forward to coming back there, because I've always gotten a wonderful reception from the people, whether I was in England, Ireland, or wherever.
I mean, is that on the cards for next year? Do you plan on coming out next year, or even at the end of this year?
Yeah. Absolutely. I might pop up and surprise everybody. Who knows? We'll see.
This is surprise. Okay, wicked.
People always ask me these things. They're like, hey, are you going to be at LOWKEY's album release party? I'm like, yeah, because that's really what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to start mixing my record, jump on a plane. I'll be there tomorrow. But I understand it's all love. People just want me to be there. And, I'm definitely very proud of LOWKEY. I've seen him come a long way and develop as an artist, and as a businessman and someone who's trying to work better. I remember from the very beginning, you know, I would give him advice, kind of to let him know, listen, these are some of the things I encountered to do. This is something you should be incredibly focused on, and you know, just telling him the type of places where he could really galvanize the fan base, and you know, a little bit of strategizing and explaining that, you know, it's difficult for Americans to take any person, it doesn't matter who it is, especially a person from another country, seriously when it comes to criticisms of America, especially when the England itself has so many of them and was a colonizer before America even existed. So, I mean, after that conversation, he was just very focused and reinvigorated about talking not only about what goes on here, but honestly being someone who rises as a voice among his own people to confront what's going on out there, because he's so much more in a position to be able to deal with that than what we do here. Not to say that anybody doesn't have the right or shouldn't criticize what goes on here. I'm just saying what is more effective and what is going to produce the more tangible results. And as you see, people are afraid of that. That's why you have people trying to trump up charges on him and stuff like that. But you'll see that develop with other artists as well.
Okay.
I know you want to do this. I know what you want for your show. You want me to answer the fan questions. I'd love to do that, but I'm sitting here. You want me to answer 3 questions for you.
Okay, so Stephen says, earlier this year, Tyler, the Creator, mentioned you on the opening track of his album Goblin, essentially expressing with a line that he would rather listen to Waka Flocka Flaming than Immortal Technique. He asks how you feel about that line when you first heard it, and how you feel about this mind state of people in general.
I think in terms of the line, I'd heard it. I knew people that know him, and they came back to me and they were like, look, it wasn't meant out of disrespect. You know, if you want to see disrespect from an artist, you see the type of things that they do to other people. But, you know, really, people's own personal preference and choice are completely up to them. I can't force somebody to like my music or not. If somebody wants a problem with me in the street, that's obviously something they can take up with me. It's not something I'll ever run or hide from. But, you know, if someone says to me, hey, I'd rather listen to Waka Flocka Flame than you, then what do you want me to do? You want me to be angry at their taste in music? If someone says, hey, I like Prince better than I like Michael Jackson, you know, and am I supposed to get up and hit him in the head with a fucking sledgehammer? I don't know what the fans want to do. They want me to be upset. If somebody ever came after me and they wanted some kind of drama, that's a different story. But, you know, you can't hate a man for having a little opinion or something like that. I know the fans want to see me, you know, wild out. Maybe that's not the answer you were looking for. Maybe you want, like, controversy or something to beef up the show. But I can't be angry at someone who just expresses their opinion. You know, I can't feed into that type of stuff. And I won't, because I think I'm a little too mature. But at the same time, you know, I do take when people say my name seriously. So as soon as someone told me what it was, I went to go ask, and I went to go find out what the deal was. And when I got my answer, it was like, no, it wasn't meant like that. So I said, okay, cool. What you want me to do? You know, make a big deal out of it. Then all of a sudden, I start looking like a bully. I'm not like that, you know. So, hey, as long as people doing something free, creative, and expressive, I can't be mad at them. And if they have a different taste in music, I don't hate them. You know, not everybody wants to listen to his music or my music or Waka Flocka's music all the time. People have different tastes in everything that they do. Next.
Yeah. Understand completely on that one. I've got another question then from a listener. We're going to do 3, like you said. One listener's asking about Immortal Technique and DJ Muggs. Are you planning to work together in the future?
Are you angry I can only do 3 Montana after I told you I was going to be on the phone for 10 minutes and you've already squeezed 20 minutes out of me, man? Don't be angry at me, Montana.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. It's fine. Well, you could say yes or no then to that one.
No. I love answering these. You know, me and DJ Muggs actually had a conversation about doing this, and we've been kind of boxing around one another in terms of getting things prepared. So I'm looking forward to trying to get him to do some production. So I'm going to actually end the tour in December, be back in L.A. with all my homies. So I have an opportunity to meet up with Muggs, and I definitely look forward to getting production from him for that.
All right, excellent. Excellent. That is good news, man, because, I mean, if anyone, all our regular listeners know how much we love Muggs on this show, and all his collaborations, just they turn to magic.
No, he's incredibly talented man. He's a legend, so it would definitely be an honor to work with him. I just hope that we can work out the timing schedule. I hope that they're not on tour at the same time that I'm on tour.
All right, excellent. And finally then, final.
Diabolic says what's up, yo.
Oh, peace. How you doing, Diabolic? How you doing, man?
So he's right here next to me. That crazy motherfucker's right here.
Final one then. When can we hear a taste of the Middle Passage? I've asked many people.
I just gave you motherfuckers a free album, and you're asking for more. Why don't you go digest the free album? So get some shit off the free album. Listen to that for like a month or two. Let it sink in. You know.
But that's how fast it moves now. That's how fast it moves. That's it now. That's old school. That album you put out yesterday. You know, they want
that's
something
crazy,
new.
Yo. Does that mean that your show's over right now? That the show's old school?
Yeah, it is. Well, it feels like it sometimes. But, yeah, I mean, that's...
Nah. In all seriousness, let them know to burn the album. Everybody out there, the Martyr, it's not in stores. You can't buy it. If somebody's selling it, you know they're a fraud, and you have my authorization to strip them of their personal belongings for trying to steal from my support base. But definitely, be on the lookout early next year for us to release a single from the Middle Passage, and then to galvanize the base, and then get a big release going, so that we can actually do an incredibly powerful worldwide tour, which is the bottom line.
Exactly.
We're trying to get to as many places as possible. I love being on the road, and it's definitely a joy.
So, Tech, does this mean that we're not going to be able to cop the Martyr on wax? Will it be a limited wax run or CD run?
I can't hear you.
Will it be a limited CD or wax run of the Martyr? Will people be able to cop that physically?
We'll see.
Okay.
We might do a limited run of some wax or some promotional stuff, but I don't know.
Yeah.
That's neither here nor there. Right now we just want people to bump it out there, to get it to as many places as possible.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And also, let's not forget, now you're about to head out on tour. All your Twitter family, everybody out there has been asking you where you're going to go. You've given the full lineup out there on Twitter for anybody who is interested where Tech's going to be performing over the next few weeks, and 16 new songs to perform.
16. Well, there's 16 tracks, but there's only maybe out of all that 13 new songs. But I'm definitely going to perform a bunch of new songs for the joint, and then try and link up with as many other artists that I can be with out here. So it's all love. We're trying to make sure that people know that the real hip hop and that real hardcore street culture isn't dead, and it's not going to die anytime soon. We're not going to let it just fall into decadence. It's not going to be controlled by emo rappers or any type of other field or fake gangster rap or anything else. The street revolutionary hip hop will never die, and there's nothing you can do to stop the movement. Exactly. Absolutely nothing. A bullet could never stop me.
Absolutely, man. It's absolute truth. And I was so pleased as well, just on a finishing note, to see Chuck D up on the Martyr as well, man. He's a
legend. He's a mentor, and he's somebody that has always shown me love and respect from day one. So I pay the utmost respect to Chuck D and all the pioneers, all the people that were out there making this happen and creating the foundation of the culture. When you forget where you came from, you don't know where you're going. So make sure that people out there know that they should respect the elders of hip-hop, not only of American hip-hop, but also of UK hip-hop, to show them love, because without them, none of the scenes would exist.
Absolute truth.
Listen, God bless. Take care of yourself on this tour.
All right, Martina, thank you very much. I appreciate you showing me love, and spin some of the Martyr on there, and then let people know the tour dates and shit. Shout out to the Technique Forums and everybody else listening,
Yeah. All right, we will do, man. Let's jump into that now. We'll put the link up on the show when we blast it out, as well as the podcast.
Definitely.
All right, take care.
You take care.
All right, peace. It's Immortal Technique, Conspiracy Worldwide Radio. Certainly one of the last few times you're going to hear him for a few weeks. He's out on a tour now, and he's going to be filling up arenas everywhere. So if you want those dates of that tour, you can go to his Twitter. I think it's at Immortal Tech, and you can check out what's going on.